The 12 of you are responsible for the stories of your class, right? There are 90-something students that you're representing when you write, when you read, when you interview, when you analyze the data. And that's how people are going to perceive your class, your generation, your community. What was it like, that responsibility?
I found it very important to thoroughly go through all the data, because if you're not really reading that much, you're kind of just skimming through it, then you might miss a different opinion, and you want to make sure that you get different opinions, not just what one person is saying, because you're saying, it's a whole race. We want to make sure we're representing everybody, not just certain people.
We're researching the school, we're figuring out we're grade, we're figuring out similarities, we're figuring out how the pandemic affected us, things like that. We're writing about it, we're publishing about it.
We're reanalyzing questions, reading the article, working on our paragraphs, reading the paragraphs, interviewing. And it's all coming with the excitement of oh my god, I did something out of the ordinary today.
For me, it's been gathering with people we know and friends, and talking about important topics about the school and sometimes about the outside world, and how that affects us as a person.
We didn't just ask questions and that's it. We had to do data and see what people were saying, and we had to learn how to make people not feel judged. So it was a process, a learning process, and I really enjoyed that.
What do you think would have been different if it was just me interviewing you and then me writing a report and never talking to you all?
In social studies, it would be a secondary source, because you're not actually experiencing it.
Yeah, you don't understand what's actually going on.
You also learn from our experiences. You're not telling us what our experiences are. You are showing us through research and through our own statements.
And since you don't since it's new too, because the newer generation, you're able to learn from us.
Adults can have different perspective than kids, so kids can view things a certain way, but adults can view it a different way, and that can really affect how the research comes out.
I feel since we fix up the questions and we interview people from our school, I feel it's important to have us here, because maybe who even knows if that kid can be comfortable sharing with an older adult, and having a team that's their age and has went through what they went through. I feel it will make them work.
Max interviewing me was funny because we made jokes and we got to learn more about the person I was interviewing, more on a personal level, because you know them, but you don't know them that deep. So yeah, but it was fun because he was my friend, and it wasn't me being interviewed by a random person that I didn't know. Now I know you, but when you first interviewed me, I did not know you and I was scared. But since it's my friend, it was fun, and it was easier to confide in. The anonymous aspect, it's if there's somebody a chance to say what they wouldn't see on the outside, because everything is kept private. So it's interesting to see how my peers really feel.
I'll say the confidentiality about this project and the interviews. I say it's very nice or cool to know even if you say something that might not agree with another person, that they can't personally come at you for it, because they're not gonna know your name or anything about you. So that's something that I say helped me during the interviews. So
When I was looking through it, I was looking at them, and I was it made me feel more empathy against other people. Even though it's anonymous, it could be any single one, and I didn't know about that stuff. And I was let me just be more open to that. And that's what I said. And once I saw those, once we wrote our own thing, I felt more open to that, and it made me speak more, so other people would be scared to speak as much.
it was fun to see each other's work and how we all put in some work together to accomplish something big like this, because it's college level, how you were saying. So it was cool that a whole bunch of random kids just did this all together, and we actually did something out of it that was important.
As I was reading something of mine, she was damn good. It was good. I was I was like, yay, I feel some love. Thank you. Learning that there are similarities is like one of the best things you can do. Because somebody connects to you, and that gives you like kind of confidence. And yeah.
When you gather up like with people your age that attend the same school as you, that experience the same subjects, whatever, and seeing that you guys actually have similarities, it's like a relief that you know there's somebody else who kind of connect with you.
It was not cool, but like shocking that people my age can actually relate to me and relate to other people.
Things like we would talk about it, like around my friend group, we would talk about it, but seeing like other people from other classes and people that I didn't talk to experience the same thing, it made me feel like I wasn't the only one. Why does it matter? Because it makes me feel like I'm not crazy and like I'm not imagining things.
You're not alone. Like, I'm not that person who has these other problems and everybody else doesn't have it. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not different. Everybody has many different things.
Yeah, it's nice knowing like we go through a lot of similar experiences, but like all it takes is like just sharing a bit about yourself to like find that you're not like you're just the only one. We know like we're all in this together.
What was the cause of academic anxiety among your peers?
Mainly grades. I would say it was a big one, like 90% of the answers were like, I'm stressed about my grades, I'm stressed that I'm going to fail something and get a bad grade.
Especially about family.
Yeah, family, like them pushing themselves. Like some students have set their own academic goals, and if they don't reach it, I feel like they could feel some type of disappointment with themselves.
It made me feel like I'm not, like, this is normal. I'm not like weird or like abnormal or something.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong
That's what I
with me.
meant by. That's what I meant.
The school, I bet there's at least one person who can find like a similarity between these academic anxieties.
I feel like yeah.
From the research you did, why do you think people your age particularly were anxious about COVID?
Because we didn't know how it would affect us in the future, I guess, and like the loss it could cause for us, and like the things it could take away from us. Like a lot of kids, they got antisocial over that time, so it took away like our time to like hang out with friends and stuff, and like be in person to really get that learning.
I think the main cause of social anxiety is like not being with people your age and people that you you feel comfortable to talk to for a while. Like COVID, we was like not together for like 2-3 years, like really impacted our social skills.
You guys focused particularly on the social, right? Like about who people wanted to be, who they were, how they saw themselves, and who they hoped to become.
I feel like based on these answers, a lot of people wanted to like become better in particular topics such as academics, sports. Some people wanted to like stick up for themselves better, like to be a very good person and stuff.
I feel like when you come into the school, you don't know anybody, and there's nobody that you can really like trust in, and you want to go to be like comfortable in this space, especially when you don't feel like it. Like when you don't feel like you belong in a place, you're like less confident. So for them to wanna like be more confident in themselves and feel like they can express themselves in here, then that's like not really shocking to a person.
Normally when people like join a new school, it's kind of like difficult for them to make friends at the beginning because you don't really know anybody. So they want to create like a different feeling for everybody else and call themselves like brave and fierce and everything. Just so like other people think, oh, this guy's cool.
What did you find the impact was when like a trusted member of the S2, like Miss Melendez, left? What was the impact on your peers? Because you really did a wonderful analysis.
Like it really did affect the students, and they just like like it affected them because they trusted their team, and then like without warning, like that don't left. So it in a way kind of like shook things up because it was just very like unexpected, and you could even see students like being so close and really relying on it. So when that like source of support is gone, then who would these students go to? We should have an impact on the school because we like, yeah, we're just like a part of the school too. And I think that all the students want is just like a good community, a good environment to learn things. And I don't think anybody, at least in our group of this, has like bad intentions. So when you hear all these things that people are saying, I feel like it just only helps the school and makes the school better.
Maybe include students in the decision-making process, like if there's like something to be done with uniform, like have a meeting with the kids, like see what do they think would be best, and like tell them, and like the staff could like tell them the concerns about it, if it's like a good idea or not, and then they could come to an agreement.
What do you think adults need to be taken from this project? What should we learn from your experiences and the way that you talked about it?
Try understanding our problems and not treat us like these perfect little kids.
Yeah, basically what that was, like they really try to see a perspective.
Even kids like they deal with stuff and they go through stuff. That just because we're kids, that doesn't mean that we don't go through stuff. Like adults could be saying, "Oh, you're just a kid. I don't know why you're tired. You just go to school." But then again, kids do stuff at school that tires us out. Like we have to be worrying about assignments and getting them done and like grades, and in the long run, like impressing our parents because we don't want to disappoint them.
Adults should learn that judgment is not a great thing.
So not to push your kids more than they can.
Because your kids are really trying. Like your kids are really trying to do the best for you. Even if it seems like they be like as teens.
Well, I feel like I've gotten better at writing because this is like a college level type essay.
Yeah.
So I've gotten writing skills, reading skills, researching skills, social skills, interviewing skills, speaking skills, being interviewed skills like right now.
Before, in the beginning of 6th grade, I was very shy, and I was also very like, how do I call this? Like, I was shy and I was like very aggressive. Now I'm more like I'll let people take their time to explain what happened. I won't rush right away, and I will like let them fully say what they have to say.
I feel like now I'm just more confident with most things. And I'm not so like that shy girl sometimes.
For me, I don't have opportunities like this, like speaking what I have to say. And I feel like you were carrying that whole weight that you haven't dumped yet over and over and over for years and years. And then once you finally dump it, it's amazing.